Hello, and welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about the tropical rainforest and so I do have a photograph of the rainforest today. As you can see here, I'll put it over here. There. Okay, so there is the tropical rainforest. You can see it's very lush, green, water running through it. So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about that today. So another name for the tropical rainforest is the jungle. And this is an area of, it's a forest of tall trees. As you can see in the photograph, there's a lot of trees. And it covers about 6% of the earth. It has more species of trees than any place in the world, and it receives more rain than any other biome, making it the wettest biome. Oops. There are two types of rainforests, lowland forests and cloud forests. Over half of the world's plant and animal species are found in the rainforest, and it is also the most threatened biome. Tropical rainforests are found near the equator in over 40 countries. So the three largest rainforests are found in Central Africa, Southeast Asia, and Central and South America. So weather, they are known for year-round warmth, and they maintain about the same temperature year-round, which is usually above 20 degrees Celsius or 64 degrees Fahrenheit. They get an average of 125 to 660 centimeters or 50 to 260 inches of rainfall yearly. So thinking of warm and wet when you're thinking of tropical rainforests. Guys, any questions so far? Okay, so seasons. It feels like there's just one season, rainy and wet most of the time. However, in the rainforest there is a period of reduced rain, which is usually in the winter and summer. There are 4 seasons, although there is minimal season change. And there's also approximately 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of night every day. Any questions on that? Okay, so we're going to start talking about animals and plants in the rainforest. Animals. So animals, there are a lot of animals, and scientists believe that they only know about 1% of all of the rainforest animals. So there's millions of species of birds, hundreds of types of parrots, snakes, monkeys, tigers, and of course millions of other species. So many animals. So birds, snakes, parrots, monkeys, tigers, rhinos, are just some of the animals in the rainforest. So we're going to talk a little bit about the plants now. So just know that there are a lot of animals in the rainforest. So plants, same thing. There are a lot of plants. Most of the plants in rainforest are trees. And there's also mosses, shrubs, vines. There's some examples. Of plants in the rainforest. Orchids and ferns. Very little sun reaches the rainforest floor. Therefore, the plants that grow there are usually small. Plants are smaller there. And many of our houseplants come from the rainforest. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the animal adaptations and plant adaptations of the rainforest today. So, plant adaptations, so we know that, it's humid, it's warm, and wet in the rainforest. So, there is a lot of animals and plants, so there is a lot of competition for food and sunlight, with there being so many plants and animals. So we're going to talk a little bit about what plants do to survive. Plant adaptations. So the bark on rainforest trees is very thin, and this prevents other plants from growing on them and supports evaporation from the excess humidity. So they have trees, have thin bark. The leaves on most plants have something called drip tips, and this helps plants shed excess moisture from the rainfall, and that is called drip tips. Also, the trees have long, very straight trunks and don't branch out until they reach the canopy where they can get more sun. So, very tall tree trunks don't branch out until canopy. Okay. Any questions so far? So the canopy is the top layer of the rainforest. So once it reaches the canopy, it's going to get more sunlight. It's not going to be competing with all of the other trees. Aren't going to be competing as much up there if they can reach up high. Okay, so leaves of plants and trees are very large to help them absorb as much sunlight as possible. Leaves are very large. Okay. And that helps them get sun. So something interesting, some of the plants are actually carnivorous, which means they eat meat. So how they do this is they have an opening filled with nectar that will attract insects such as ants and flies. And many flowering plants grow on trees so they're able to get more sunshine. Okay, and then eating plants. So those are some of the adaptations that plants have in the rainforest to help them survive. Okay, so next we're going to talk about animal adaptations. So we know that there are a lot of animals, so they do need adaptations to help them survive, because they are competing for resources like sun and food and water, things like that. So some animal adaptations are they come in a lot of different colors to help them camouflage and protect them from predators. So that helps them protect themselves from predators. So many of the animals are able to move freely among the trees, which act as both food and shelter. So they use trees for food and shelter. Okay. A lot of the rainforest animals are able to swim and cope with the wet and swamp-like environment. So swimmers. Some animals like bats are nocturnal, which help them avoid the warmer daytime temperatures. So some are nocturnal to avoid warmer temperatures. Okay. Many of the birds have larger and stronger beaks. So large, strong beaks. Okay. And some of the animals are poisonous, which is going to help protect them from their predators. Thinking of like snakes and so also there's a big competition for food. So a lot of the animals are very specialized and only eat one type of plant or insect. Say eat, or we'll say specialized diets. So it's big competition for those. Okay, so those are just some of the animal adaptations that animals do have to help them survive in the rainforest. So I want you to think of what are some animals that might live in the tropical rainforest. And raise your hand if you have any ideas. Monkeys, snakes, macaws, cougars, orangutans, gorillas, sloths, parrots, frogs. Okay, good. So this, in the rainforest, it is the largest group of animals that live there, so it is very competitive. And there are a lot of insects as well. So some plants that live in the rainforest, orchids, ferns, banana trees, rubber trees, bamboo trees, cassava trees, avocado trees, to name some. But that is all that I have today for the rainforest. Any questions before we go? No? Okay, great. Thanks so much for watching today, and I hope that you're able to come to another lesson. Goodbye.